educator group of South Texas. GEG.SOUTX.US. Hello everybody, welcome. My alarm is ringing. It's time to get started. So thank you everybody for joining. I did not know that today was Meet the Teacher night for my daughters. So I kind of scheduled this at an interesting time, but that's okay. We're here, we're ready to continue. And already went to meet the teachers. I just have to stay in this campus for the remainder of the meeting. So let's get this meeting started. So for those of you that would like to introduce yourselves, I don't have the raise hand feature in this one, but if you want to either type in the chat a raising hand or say me on the chat, I want to see if you can introduce yourselves.
So shall I go?
Yes, go ahead.
I'm Carrie Furs, the founder of the technology, which is online workbook technology that creates automatically creates published books. So Carlos is letting me do a little bit of a 10-minute spiel today, so I'll tell you more soon.
Awesome, thank you. All right, and Kathy, would you like to go next?
Yes. I'm Kathy Hobart. I am an instructional technology specialist here in San Antonio, Texas, serving mainly elementaries, and I am also the share captain for our group, and I'm really excited about the black and white feature in Google Meet now.
Yeah, I want to try that. But before I start messing with the settings there, anybody else would like to go next?
I can go ahead and go. My name is Ana Maria Perez. I am a tech integration specialist with La Jolla ISD. I work alongside Carlos. I am a teacher. I'm a librarian, and now I'm in the role of tech integration specialist. And I'm going to be sharing a little bit about Google Docs in a little while. So.
All right, awesome. Yeah, so I'm also messing with that feature. So yeah, all the way from La Jolla ISD. Awesome. Okay. Anybody else would like to introduce themselves? Okay. So then allow me to introduce myself. I'm Carlos Garza, aka Mr. G. I usually go along the lines of the G is not for Google, but it fits. Tried and true, but it's getting boring. I need to come up with a better one. Okay, so I am a CTE teacher. I am a Google for Education certified trainer and innovator, among other things. There's some other ones that I would like to show you all later if time permits. But, ooh, thank you. Yeah, so it is CTE month around here. But without further ado, I'm going to start with, I'm going to look at the agenda here. Watermarks in Google Docs by Ana Maria Perez. Feel free to share your screen and let's get started.
Am I going first or it's Carrie? I don't know.
Yes, you're going to go first.
Okay.
Ms. Carrie is going to talk a little bit more into what's going to happen with some digital books, which are pretty cool. So you'll see what I'm talking about once she starts.
Awesome. Hopefully I stay with it. I've been known to be very long-winded, so I'm going to try and keep my time. So let me go ahead and get started with Google Docs. So let me move this over here. And I am going to go ahead and introduce myself. That's a little loud. Like I said earlier, I am Ana Maria Perez. I am a tech integration specialist now, but of course we all started off as teachers, and now we're kind of teacher of teachers. So these are all of my badges that I've earned. I am a level 1, level 2 Google certified educator. I have my Google trainer in process. I think it's been in process since like 2017. I still haven't gotten around to submitting it. That is a major goal for me to do within this next couple of days, because it's due sometime soon. So I really want to get that done. I have pretty much all of it done except for the videos. That's what is keeping me from submitting my trainer application. So I'm hoping, pray for me that I get it done soon. But as you can see, all of the different badges, those are what we kind of train here at La Jolla ISD. We train our teachers. I am blessed to be in a district that really believes in growing our teachers. And so and I say we because Carlos and I have been doing a lot of that throughout the pandemic. During summers, we host an academy where we train teachers on all these different apps and how they can integrate it into the classroom. I am married to Jose Luis Perez, who's also a fellow educator. We met at the first school that I taught at, and we have 3 kids together, 3 beautiful kids. Diego, who is my oldest, that's him right here. Dante is my middle one, and my girl is Daniela, and she's in 5th grade. So you can see that I've got one in high school, in middle school, and in elementary, and I always like to pick their brains to see how things are being used in the classroom so that I can better serve our teachers and know the struggles that from the student side, from the parent side, and also the educator side. So I'm really blessed to get to do what I do in the district. And also, here with my PLN. I am a dog mom. This is Zachary Attack Perez. And we call him Zach Attack for short. And I always spend a little time in creating this slide, because whenever we're presenting to anybody, it could even be our class, our colleagues, whatever it might be, you do want to share a little bit about yourself so that you can build that connection, that relationship. Because some of you that may be listening in may have 3 kids as well. Some of you may be a librarian. Some of you may also be a dog mom, or also collecting these different kinds of badges. So it is a good practice to kind of put something together like this, so that whenever you do get to present, you have something to kind of introduce yourself and a visual to share something about yourself. I am a Google. I love Google. Like Carlos said, the G is for Google. I don't have a G in my no initials in G. But lately I have been on this Canva buzz. I have just kind of pushed Google kind of to the wayside and and that's what I created this in. And so if you do not know, and I'm just going to give you a little quick tidbits on Canva, when you're in presentation mode, there are a lot of different tools. And that's why I kind of like to use Canva to present now, because there are tools that are embedded here. So if you want a timer, you just you just click on a number from 1 to 9, and it will change that little timer. So as you're presenting, if you need a quick timer for your participants to do something as far as an activity, you can set that timer right there. The only thing I don't like about this is that there's no little notification or buzzer. You just kind of have to be looking at the screen. So you've got a timer embedded. You have a B to blur things out, so you can call your attention to your audience to you. So you have the B. Just by clicking on B, it will prompt this magic shortcut to take place. You've got a Q. So if I need my students or my audience to be quiet, I can just type on the Q, and it's going to bring this little quiet guy there. This is like my librarian. Shh. I'm notorious for doing this as a librarian. So there's a lot of librarians that like a lot of noise in their library. I was always like, shh, we need a quiet time because it's always loud everywhere else. Students wanting to come in, you need to have that quiet time. So you have that cue that will prompt that. The O will give you bubbles. And you can see anytime you need to celebrate, you can have the bubbles there, or you can choose confetti. And if you press it multiple times, it just goes ahead and it loads the screen. So one confetti, if you just type it in once, it just falls from the ceiling. But if you press the C multiple times, it's going to bounce confetti all over the screen. So this is really nice, again, to celebrate anything that you may be presenting on. The D is a drum roll. So in case you are picking who's going to give the next response or participate, you have that D. It'll give the drum roll. And you can't hear it because my music is kind of overshadowing it. The tool or the magic shortcut. Then you have the U. This is something that is brand new. So like kind of like a curtain call. This is one of the brand new shortcuts that Canva just released. And then that's the U. And then another brand new one that just came out is the M. Like if you mic drop moments. So this is brand new. So that's just a little bit about Canva. And I'm going to tie back to Canva. And like I said, it really is a good practice too. And like I said, to kind of put something together like this in their presentation, just adding it there. So that way you add this page, you can copy and paste it into any presentation. You already have it ready there for you. So let's go ahead and get into watermarks in Google Docs. So right now I am in a Google Doc. And if you've noticed lately, when you open or create a new Google Doc, you're going to see now that you've got a summary. So if your Google Doc has a lot of text, it is going to give a brief summary about what this document is about. So it's really, really neat. And I'll show that in a little bit with a document that I already have created. But what we're going to talk about today is the watermark feature. Like I said, Google Docs has been doing a lot with the smart chips. I think Mel posted in our Slack chat application there that now they have page lists, and I'll go ahead and show that to you because that's fairly new, where you can have a page list and you don't have that page break. So more information as far as tables or anything that you're including in here, it fits. So let me just go ahead and open up one of these documents. Go into my recent. So I'm just going to open up probably the agenda so that you can see that page list feature. Google has kind of been slow lately, so I don't know what's going on here. So you can see here that outline feature here on the side here. If I click on the summary, we can put a summary here because there's not really enough text for them to gather a summary here. So you can enter your own summary. But if you have enough information on the document, it will provide a summary for you. So you see how there is page breaks here. If you go to File, Page Setup, and go Pageless, it gives you kind of a little GIF kind of demonstrating. So now you see it. And if I don't want to see this summary, I can now just scroll. And it's a 2-page document, and I don't have that page interruption. And I can view this on any device, and it's just kind of like that scrolling web page feature type. So that is something new. If you do not want to see that, you can always come over here to the page setup. Another thing you can do is change the background of that color. So the whole background will be in blue. And if you want this to be the default, you can always set it up like that right here where it says set as default. You can have it on page list and with that background color. So we're going to go back to pages. And that is something that is brand new. Oops, I didn't apply it. That is brand new in Google Docs. Now we're back. Okay. So, well, like I said, one of the new features is adding a watermark. Well, adding watermarks was released, I think, in September, but you only were able to do an image watermark. And again, why would you want to do this? It could be for security purposes. It could just be to add some aesthetics to your document. Whatever it may be, I'm going to show you how you can add an image and also the brand new feature, which is now you can add in text. So you're going to come up to where it says Insert, click on Insert, and you're going to see that anytime that Google releases anything new, you'll see this new little blue button. And so, like I mentioned, since image watermark is not brand new, but text is. So that's why you're seeing that new little button there. So right here, it asks you if you want to select an image. So you just click here and you're going to see all of the different places where you can bring images from, whether it's uploading it from your computer, from Google Drive, your Google Photos, a link, you're going to have those options. Like I said, I think Google's been kind of slow today because I don't think it's my internet. It was that way at the office as well. So right now it's going to my Google Drive. I'm going to show you right here. I have the district logo. So if there's anything that I'm putting out as far as for the district, an agenda, whatever it may be, I'm going to go ahead and want this as my watermark, any type of logo or image you'd want to insert. Now you see how that is nice and shaded. And like I said, you can continue to type and it's not going to interrupt your text here. Now, right now it is defaulted to faded. If you wanted it to be a little bit more pronounced, then you're really not going to see that text that's going to go in front of it. So, you say what that faded, it works really well with this one, but what if I bring in something different and it's not giving me the true colors? There are some more options for you right here. And this is, I hadn't seen it before, more image options. So you're going to see that, and I'm going to actually change this one. I'm going to go ahead and remove this one. That's like my district logo. But you can, and I kind of invite you to create your own logos, whether it be as an educator, you want to create one for you to kind of brand yourself or your classroom, or maybe even create a classroom logo to build that community. Ask your students to go ahead and give their feedback, what they would like to see in a logo. And there's so many different, like Canva, Adobe. I just saw that Adobe's challenge for the month of March is to create your own teacher logo. So they've got a template for you so that you can, it's kind of like a challenge for you to create your own logo. So I kind of created my own logo as well, just to kind of give you an example where you can see different colors, and we'll work with the different features here. So this is what I was talking about. The district one really was nice. You saw that red and white came out really, but notice how this image up over here doesn't really capture the image in my watermark. So if I take off faded, you're going to see now that I have that logo, but it's still too bright or too, it's going to take away from my text that I'm going to add to this document. It needs to be, that watermark needs to be settled in the background for whatever agenda, or maybe I'm putting out a flyer of information, how-to steps, whatever it might be. So here is where you're going to go into the more image options. And just like the way you see it in Google Slides, you can change the size and the rotation. So if I wanted to change it, I could change it up here. I can change the size. If I want to change the position, right now it's centered. If I wanted it to be to the left, and really it's kind of in the center of the page because it's this big, I could do that. I can, once it's a little smaller, I'll go ahead and show you, but you can change where it is on the page and position it. And I don't know if you all know about this, but this is another little tip or trick that also works in Google Slides. You can actually recolor your image. So I like to do this because when I have my Google Slides presentations, I use templates. And so the colors that you will see right here in the recoloring will match that template. And so sometimes I like to, if the Flipgrid logo, I wanted to match, say, my Google Slides presentation, I can come over here and recolor it. So I can actually go over and choose some recoloring and do some black and white here. So know that you have that option. You can do like a sepia, and I don't know if I pronounced that right, or no recoloring. So really quick little tip there that you can actually do some fun stuff with recoloring images that you bring in to your documents or Google Slides or Google Docs. And the last one here is adjustments. And here is where I'm going to work with that transparency. So that way I get that subtle feel of that watermark. So notice that whenever I messed with the transparency or I adjusted the transparency, now I've got that subtle background watermark. I can look, work with the sliders on the brightness. Here, make it a little brighter, and that's why it's a little off color. So, and work also with the contrast. So just by making those little adjustments, now I have a true watermark. I can also scale my image. So if I wanted it to be a little smaller, I can do that here. It does allow for me to also adjust it here, and I can also move it around. So maybe I don't want it to be there in the middle. I can go ahead and maybe adjust it over here so it's that subtle watermark there. So now that I have my watermark image, now I'm going to go ahead and add some text. So anytime that if you want to change this up, you can always come over here to the edit and change it or remove it. So I'm going to come over here to my text. So I'm just going to write in here, summer PD. And you can actually put in emojis. So I'm going to just put in my little emoji here with the sunglasses. And you can see how now I have it there. And I can work with the color. Right now it's in that little gray, so gray area. I can add my own custom. So if you know the hex code, I can add in a color. So I'm going to go ahead and put red. That's a little bright. So never fear, you can, again, just like with the image, work with the transparency so it's subtle and you have it there in the background. Now notice that my image is no longer there. It's either or. So I've got the option now for text. Right now it's at a diagonal, or I can put it as horizontal. So now you've got that. And again, you can add it for whatever topic the document might be. It could be draft, whatever text you want to add there. If I want to change the font on it, I can change the font on it. I can go ahead. Right now it's at auto. So depending on what I write in there, it is format or auto fitting it to fit into my document. I can make it bold. I can do italics. Some of the formatting that you're used to seeing, you can see it here and add it to your text. So that is watermarks in Google Docs.
That is awesome. The text and all that. I like the logo, by the way.
It was just kind of one that I played around. So if you want to create a logo for your class, all you have to do is do a logo search or just type in logo. You can see all kinds, and there's, I mean, thousands of them in here. So whether you want to do it personally for you, or if you want to go ahead and do one as a class, like have a class logo, so that way anything that you put out to your parents for communication, you can add in that class logo. One filter that I actually came to so that it's kind of like more kid friendly. There's one that says fun, and then there's one that says school. There's kids. Let's see if I can find it. Right here, kids. So you've got some cute ones here. So if we teach elementary, but just kind of look through them and see if one speaks to you for you personally or for your class. And like I said, Adobe right now has that challenge. Let's see if it's right here. Tanya, I think, Avrith just posted it. I was scrolling through my feed and I saw Tanya posted, and I thought, wow, this is neat. That is the creative challenge, is to create a logo that defines you as an educator. And so they have that template there ready for you. And if you're going to, what I did is I did this in Canva. I created it from a template. This has that like text. I downloaded this one, the image, and then I created a frame to make it in the round circle. So whether you like it in the square or you like it in the round format, it's up to you, but you have those different options. So kind of fun here.
Awesome, thank you. And if any of you have any questions, you can always reach her on Twitter at Ana M. Perez1. Thank you so much, Ms. Perez. And we're going to transition now to something very interesting. I just want to make sure that I pronounce this correctly. Miss First?
That's Carrie Furs.
First, okay.
Furs.
Awesome. I'll go with Carrie. So thank you so much for presenting today. So I'll leave it on to you to continue with this conversation.
Okay, I'll share my screen. And I too am doing a presentation in Canva. Canva's fantastic. So just let me know if you can't see my screen properly. So thank you for inviting me. I'm Carrie Furs from familybookform.com. So essentially we're an online workbook that automatically creates a published book. And similar to, Book Creator and Canva, they're technologies that provide templates that are mainly focused on design. So our point of difference is that there's very little design functionality. It's not about design at all. It's about automating, collecting content of value. And so I'll quickly run you through that. I'll show you how to use the free version of this. And if anyone is interested in further projects, then they can let me know. So teachers can use our technology for in two main ways. The first is a class book. So a teacher can automatically collect students' content into a collaborative class book. Or the other way is that you can give each student their own workbook, and so they can then go and speak into the page, they can interview other people to speak into the page, they can collect content, and it automatically formats everything into a book that we publish. And so I'm going to show you how to create this free collaborative class book with your class. And so what happens is that you send an automatic link to your students and they can access a template page. So rather than using like a Google Slides or a Hyperdoc page, then it's already formatted, it's already created. And so you can, the students just follow the prompts. And so on the left-hand side, you can see this is the teacher's instructions. So you can be specific about what you want your students to contribute. In this instance, it was how had COVID-19 affected them and their families. They were asked to contribute up to 600 words and one photo page. And so the students just follow these prompts, they type directly into that answer box and they can upload photos. And when they're ready to submit, or if you've set a deadline, then they click submit, and all the students' content is automatically formatted into a digital book that can also that can be shared as a digital book via email or Twitter. You can post it in your socials, on your website and newsletters, and you can download a PDF and print on demand. So as the students make their contributions, they automatically propagate the contents page and you can navigate through the digital book. So it's free to try, and Carlos is actually an ambassador. So when you sign up on the free sign up there, you can create a free book, but as you're signing up, you can follow the prompt when it says ambassador code, and you can enter that ambassador code. So that just means that if you do paid projects, then there's options for incentives, there's discounts, there's prizes. We have monthly prizes for book competitions, things like that. So I'm just going to go to the live website now. And this is familybookforum.com. So on this website, you can see other projects that students have created and teachers have created. If you scroll down, you can see some example books. And so the first example here is a poem book. This was grades 5 and 6. They were doing a Mother's Day project. And so the teacher invited the students to contribute a poem or a story and artwork on their mother. And so this is just a cute little automated project where students are contributing a little poem and artwork, and it's automatically formatted. And the teacher was doing a STEAM research project, and so she also got the principal to contribute a chapter, an introduction, and the teacher documented the students doing the artwork and using technology as a tool in the classroom. And so this can be sort of like a little brochure on the school's initiatives, on the teachers, and it's just a great way for parents and families to see what you're doing. So this example book is a student was doing the workbook themselves, and they were interviewing their family to create a family recipe book. So they do an introduction, they can upload photos, they can interview face-to-face or online their family to contribute content directly into their book, and collect these family recipes. So this can be around family celebration and culture and identity. You can see on this page here in a Google Chrome browser, this is German. So if your students speak Spanish, for example, they can speak Spanish into the page, their family can speak, and with a single click of the button, you can translate that into English or any language. And so then the digital book is all of a sudden in whatever language you want it to be. So you can send this book to anybody and they can translate it into any language that they want. Another good example of the collaborative book was during the COVID lockdowns when students were restricted to their homes. And so this teacher invited the students to contribute little stories about how they were being affected and what they were doing, how their family was coping. And so each student had a double page spread here as well. Students can contribute more than a double page. It's up to the teacher to specify how much content you want that student to submit. And so this was also used by the teachers and principal to contribute a chapter to the book about how the teachers in the school were affected by COVID. So this is a great way to showcase to families in a nice polished book product everybody's different perspectives and lived experiences. So it's a great way to engage the whole community, to be empathetic and understanding and get an insight into other people. So back on the website, if we continue to scroll down, you can see there's lesson plans, there's a San Jose teacher testimonial, there's some little 1 or 2 minute videos to give an overview, and some case studies there. So if you do a project, please let me know. We're a Google for Education partner, so there's lots of opportunities to showcase your projects globally too. So sign up, enter that ambassador code, and then from then on you just log in. So when you sign up, this is the teacher dashboard. The students don't see this. The students will only access via a link that you see them. So you either send them the contributors page or you send them the whole workbook, and I'll show you that in a second. So you don't have these icons here because these are projects that I've created, but you'll have these little explainer videos in your dashboard so you can refer back to those at any time. So with the free sign up, you get access to create one free book. So if you click on free try, then you can, this is the book creating dashboard. So this is what you use to create a collaborative class book, or if you pay $10 and give for each workbook and you give that to each student, this is what they see to create their own book. So you see it's like any workbook, there's prompts, questions and answer boxes. So you just do the book title there, the authors of the books. You can upload a photo to the front cover. On the left-hand side is the scaffolding to build the book. So you can speak an introduction. There's many languages here, and it will import whatever language you've spoken into there, if your computer uses that language. There's more scaffolding down here. If you've given this to students, they can click on that and they can just follow these prompts. It's all, like any workbook, they have some topic prompts that they can choose, and each topic prompt has different questions. But for the free book that we're creating, this collaborative class book, we're not using that. But I can give a presentation another time if you do want to do more, if you do want to give to students and they create their own books. So here, if this is your free collaborative class book, you go up to collaborations and you view contributors. So this is where you click on invite contributors and you can upload a list of your class of students. Whoever you want to receive a template page and contribute to your book, you can upload as a list, or you can invite them one by one. And this is where they would receive a template page. So as I showed in my slides before, it's got the instructions here from you as the teacher. They just follow the prompts and type into the page, upload artwork or photos, and click submit. And then that automatically comes into your dashboard. You can see the contribution once they've submitted it. So you click on view contribution. If they've got spelling mistakes or you want to reformat that, you can do that. There's a little bit of functionality around moving the chapters around, but otherwise there's not very much, there's not much design functionality. It's just all automatically formatted. So there's students don't get distracted with design or changing fonts or, you know, doing different colors. It's just automatically formatted. So we're getting them to concentrate on the actual content and writing and the content that they're submitting. So here, if you click on My Book, you could then view the instantly updated digital book. And so that is here. So that's the front cover, automatically formatted. And as students make their contributions, they automatically appear in the contents page there. And so you can share this link. And then as students are submitting their content, everyone can see what's in the book. So it's private until you share it. So once you've shared it, then people can see the updated version of that book. You were saying about creating logos, so you can also brand your class book as well with your logo that you've created. So that's a very quick overview of how to create a free collaborative class book. I know that the last month has been Black History Month, so this might be a great way for you to collect what students learnt. You know, it's a way to showcase in a nice polished product student learning or initiatives at your school. So, you know, here at the moment in Australia, we've got flooding. And so teachers are getting students to contribute, how has the flood affected them? So your area would be, you know, a great place to do the, you know, hurricanes and storms that you've had and things like that, or whatever issue is in your community and your class. Then you can collect students' perspectives, students' knowledge, you know, what they've learned. And so it collates it into a polished product that you can showcase their learning. So that's it from me. Is there any questions?
So somebody was asking if you're from Australia. Hi, Mel. Would you like to introduce yourself?
So yeah, I'm Australian, but I haven't lived there like a bazillion years. Whereabouts are you?
So I'm Sydney.
Okay, yeah, I'm from Melbourne, so my family and stuff is down there, but I live in South America at the moment.
Wow.
Colombia. Yeah. Anyway, it was nice. I heard the accent, and then I saw the time in your thing, and I was like, oh yeah.
That's right. Yeah. Well, we haven't done any projects in Spanish-speaking countries. So, you know, you could try it out, see how it goes.
Yeah, it could be an idea. Yeah, at the moment I'm a bit overwhelmed with everything, but yeah, I'm in the middle of recording some stuff for students, and I totally forgot that the meeting was on, and I was like, oh my goodness me. Okay, I'm gonna pop in. But yeah, it was cool to have part of your presentation, and yeah, thanks for sharing.
Thank you.
All right, and what an amazing for us here in Texas, Read Across America. What an amazing way to start something like this, right? Not just the reading portion, but the creating of a book. Wouldn't that be amazing? Okay.
Yeah.
So thank you so much. And if you have any further questions, you can always reach Carrie. It's on Twitter at CareyFurze. Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you.
Okay, so to finalize this, mine is going to be very quick. I'm only going to present something real quick here. And if you remember how earlier I mentioned that there are several, what is it called? Google certifications. If you want to check it out on my website, edugoogle.com, you'll see that there's a digital citizens and safety for teachers, distance learning for teachers. Those are free. You just take them and you pass the test and you're good. Then you have your regular Google for Education certifications. And one that is very difficult to obtain is called the Applied Digital Skills Ambassador. So if you want to learn more about those, you can look them up. But basically, those are all the Google for Education certifications available. The only one that I'm missing is the Certified Coach. So that's all I have to share. Thank you, everybody. Anybody else would like to share anything else before we conclude today?
I just had a question. Virtual excursions very popular with your schools?
That is an interesting thing. We use, and Ms. Perez is well versed on Google Arts and Culture for virtual field trips, how we call it over here. So in a way, I haven't used it lately. I used to use it back when it was, I forgot the name, what Google had before. It was virtual.
Poly?
What was that?
It was Google Poly, and it was Google Expeditions.
Google Expeditions. Thank you so much. Yeah. So back when it was Google Expeditions, I used to use it a lot. But since they did away with it, I haven't used it since.
So we they don't pay.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
Do schools pay for the virtual excursions and field trips, or they don't pay?
Through Arts and Cultures, they don't. It's free.
We do have Nearpod in the district, and they offer embedded in virtual field trips.
Right. And that's part of the subscription, or right? Because we're doing Aboriginal Ranger virtual excursions. So it's showcasing Aboriginal Rangers. There's 150 different groups all around Australia, and they showcase their STEM work in their communities, their scientific work, their conservation work, and so with that virtual excursion, we also include a book creating workbook, and so the teachers can automatically collect the students' STEM learning into those books that showcase what the students have learned. So, but that's $50 for schools to join that, and that funds the rangers and it funds the book license.
So that is exclusive to Australia.
Yes, exclusive to me.
Okay.
So I'm organizing it.
Yeah. So there's not any other tours for other. I think Canada does something similar to that.
They should.
Yeah.
Most virtual excursions have been zoos and art galleries and Jewish museums and, different big institutions like that typically, which are fantastic. So this is the first time that Aboriginal Rangers have been organised to showcase their STEM. But, there's lots of excursion platforms, providers, that are showcasing really cool, authentic work in communities, like from experts and scientists. We're doing a NASA astronaut challenge that we get the kids to document into my book creating technology, but the NASA content is fantastic because it's real astronauts presenting, it's real, scientists doing amazing work in the community. So all these excursions are really cool, but typically they're paid, and they're quite expensive, I thought.
All right. Thank you so much for that input. And if nothing else, anybody else has any comments before I conclude? Okay. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining in. For those of you watching in the future, thank you for watching. This concludes our meeting. Have a wonderful day, everybody, and I'll see you next month.
See you from down under.
Bye.
Google Educator Group of South Texas, GEG.SOUTX.US.